Is this where you usually train for most of your fights?
This gym right here, I've been here half my career, I'd say.
Yeah.
I've been in and out of many gyms. I've trained at the Ingle gym with Peter Fiore, Kev Sands, who trained Nigel Benn. I've been here, there and everywhere, but me and Mick, who runs the gym, a trainer, we've just got a very good personal relationship. And I think that helps with the boxing as well. So I plan on seeing the rest of my career out here now, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man now, and I drew a fight once, so I left. I lost a fight, so I left.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I've realised all my past indiscretions and stuff has been down to my own fault, you know. So I've come here, and since the Leroy Thomas defeat, I've turned things around and more professional. And I think, you know, this is where I'll be now for the rest of my career, hopefully.
But Mick said that after that Leroy Thomas defeat, you grew up loads. How much has that defeat and all the other, Dillian Whyte and Lewis Toys helped you as a fighter?
Well, I've always been lazy throughout my career, always been lazy, a bit chubby, you know what I mean? And I just thought, when I lost to Dillian Whyte and I lost to Luis Ortiz, I thought I was never meant to beat them anyway. I wasn't fit, I didn't have time to prepare, and I just thought, it's okay, you know. And then I got the Leroy Thomas fight, I looked at his record, thought it's alright, watched him fight, I thought I can beat him, I'm like not fit. Went in there with him and I lost. I got out of the ring and I thought, okay. Losing to Dillian Whyte and Luis Ortiz, in my own mind I could find I was alright with that in a weird way. I was like, yeah, okay, they're some of the best fighters in the world, I can handle that. Losing to Leroy Thomas just didn't sit right with me. I had the right time to prepare and I didn't, so I realised Eddie Hearn gave me a good ticking off as well. And I'm very fortunate to be on Sky Sports, box office, doing all the fun things. And I need to put a bit of work in. I want to continue to do that, and I realised that after the defeat, so we're here now.
Yeah, did you think you lost that fight?
At the time, I knew it was close at the time. I thought it was very close. In there, it felt close. I thought I'd won it at the time. I thought I'd nicked it. I thought with it being in England especially, I'll get the decision. I didn't get the decision. I didn't complain. Yeah. I watched it back recently, actually, because we might be getting the fight. It may be announced tomorrow, maybe. And I watched it back and I thought I've won the fight. I watched it back and I thought I'd won this fight, but I still got no complaints. You know, the judges saw it how they saw it. It depends what you like. I was going forward, not very effectively. He was doing some nice bit of work. Man, he's a pussy. Can I say that? He's a pussy, and should never have beat me. I didn't deserve the decision. I'm really glad that I didn't get it. If I was a Commonwealth champion, I'd have got a defence, box with the British, and I'd eventually got chin to keep going in that shape. So I'm glad it's turned not my life around, because I'm the same more whatever anyway, regardless. But it turned my career around for definite.
You say you would have got chin, but surely not. You got the eye and chin.
I've got a good chin, you know. People, I was on about this the other day. I don't think there's any such thing as an iron chin. I've learnt my craft and paid my dues all over Europe, sparring Joshua's, Fiore, Klitschko, Helenius, all over. I'm a bit cheeky with the shoulder roll and that. I got the moves, you know. I got all the moves defensively, and you know, anyone can get knocked out. And I was heading nowhere. I might have been the Commonwealth champion. I wouldn't have made a defence. I wouldn't have beat Leroy Thomas. Is Commonwealth title level. You know, he's a decent fighter. I'm not a big fan of the man, but he's a decent fighter. But step up a level from there in that kind of shape. I was never going to beat anybody. I was never going to make a dent in any kind of level to where I wanted to go. So if I'd got the decision, I'd have stayed doing what I was doing, and I'd never got any better than that. So
Mick was saying that you kind of wanted Sam Sexton next. Yeah. Is that the real dream, to be the British champion?
Yeah, that's what I would have liked, preferably. I think I played Leroy Thomas down a little bit, but he's not bad. Yeah. You know, he can move a little bit. He's awkward, he's southpaw. Whereas Sam Sexton's a little bit more my cup of tea. He'll stand still and I think he's probably the easier fighter. There's no such thing as an easy fight, but I think he plays more into my hands. But the British title is what it's all about. You know, the Commonwealth title is very nice. It's prestigious, I guess. It's not as prestigious as it once was, because you see fighters winning it now and they're not very good. And I might be one of people continue to say, look at Dave Allen, he's a Commonwealth champion. So, but if I win the Commonwealth title, this is. It means a lot beating Leroy Thomas. I'd like to beat him and put that right. Win the Commonwealth title is very nice, but it's a final eliminator. If I win this, I can't not get a shot at the British title. So I'd have driven Sam Sexton and Daniel Dubois. So I'll probably have to box him instead now. So it would have been preferable, but it is what it is, you know. So I'm very fortunate to get a chance to box for either title, really.
Yeah. You say you might fight Daniel Dubois. Is that Is that a guy you sparred before? I mean, I know you sparred Tyson Fury and AJ. Have you sparred
Yeah, I
before?
sparred the boy. Yeah, I sparred him, and he's good. He's very good. You know, when I was 20, and he's 20 now. He's just turned 20. When I just turned 20, I was still boxing amateur. You know, I'd only been boxing a year and a half, 2 years, maybe 18 months previous to my first amateur fight. It had knocked me all over the ring. You know, it had knocked me out. But he's still only a little boy, which he is. That's not a disrespectful thing to say. He's still a little boy. He's got so much more to come. And when he's 25, going on 26, like I am now, I probably won't be anywhere near him. You know, he might be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world by my age, but at this point in time, he's definitely not a fight I'll shy away from. You know, especially if the British title's involved, I'll box anybody for that. I'm not really fussed.
Okay. Well, first of all, because if you say it might be announced that you're getting the Commonwealth
Could be,
title,
yeah.
It might be. What are you going to do differently for that fight if it does get announced?
Many things. You know, the first fight, I trained okay. I trained well. I trained better than I for any previous fight. I think Mick would agree with me, but it still wasn't correct. I trained alright. My food was abysmal. I used to sneak away from here, tell Mick I was going somewhere, and he'd find me in I'd be in Greg's or something, steak bake and that, and the food wasn't correct. So when I lost that fight, I boxed Tom Dallas, and I was an even bigger mess with Tom Dallas. I was even bigger then. Yeah. So, but then I came back here. Me and Mick kind of spoke, and I spoke to my dad. So Eddie gave me a ticking off, and I just realised, you know, you can give 100% in the ring, because I always give 100% in the ring, you know, but if you're not giving 100% in the gym, you're not really giving 100%, are you, really? I try and pride myself on if people are going to pay, I'm going to have a go, do you know what I mean? If I'm not the best at it, I'll have a go anyway. But if I'm not giving 100% in the gym, I'm not really giving people 100%. They're paying money to watch me, and I'm just following Leroy Thomas around the ring, slapping him every now and again, fucking knackered. So now, me and Mick, I listen to Mick. Me and Mick listen to each other, you know, like I said, Mick's over there, so I'm not going to be too nice about him, but we get on really well. We talk to each other, and I'm enjoying training. I enjoy coming to the gym now. I don't enjoy eating the food, I don't think I ever will, but you know, it's something that's got to be done. If I'm going to put the training, I might as well eat correctly as well and get the results out of it.
Yeah, I saw what you were eating this morning in the Instagram story. What was that?
2 carrots, 2 sticks of celery, you're hearing this, mixed leaf salad and some chicken. So I don't enjoy it, but you know, after I did my back in Cardiff, I vowed I wasn't going to put any weight on. I put weight on, I put too much weight on. Yeah. So I'm just paying the price now for my own indiscretion, you know, and I'll do it again. It won't be the last time, so.
Yeah. You know, you say you had to put out on Cardiff because of the back. Does that really really gutting, because it's such a big stadium? I know you have worked at Bramall Lane before. And
yeah, the whole thing wasn't a good situation. Leroy Thomas pulled out. He eventually pulled out 4 days before, you know. I think he'd pulled out a long time before in his own mind and his own team. But so that wasn't good. We got a replacement in eventually. That was really stressful. We had loads of people take the fight, decline the fight. So I was in the changing room, and a lot of people said Eddie's paid you a few £100 to pull off the show because there wasn't any time, and there wasn't any time to fight. I couldn't have boxed. There wasn't time. It was 11:20 by the time Joshua was out the ring. Everyone was leaving, and then the matchmaker for Matchroom came into the changing rooms, and I was flat on my back in agony, like laid out, and it was really. I've not trained for 8 weeks after the Cardiff fight, which is why I put a bit of weight back on. But it was gutting. You know, when Leroy Thomas pulled out of the fight, do you know what I mean? Scott Saward, who's Scott Saward? Do you know what I mean? The big ginger Indian heavyweight, like, who is there? Going from Leroy. All respect to Scott Saward. He got knocked out the other day as well, and I was good because I thought that could have been me at the Millennium. But yeah, so the Cardiff thing, you've got to put it behind you. You know, like I said years ago, when I was your age, if that had happened to me then, I wouldn't be able to handle it mentally. You know, I was a big baby, but now I can't do anything about it. You know, I've still got another opportunity, so just go again.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you train today, and I really hope for the best for March 3rd, whoever you're fighting. If it is Leroy Thomas,
it could be, you know,
or someone else.
Could be, yeah.